If I want to tell you, I want to tell you. If I got to explain myself to you, that's a problem. Why should I explain myself to you? Who are you that I need to explain myself to you? Yep, that's the way I am. Who are you that I need to explain myself to you? I don't need to explain myself to you. Why would I do that? That's my thing. And don't ask me to explain myself. It's not for me to do. But this situation is literally one of those situations where I needed to make sure that I was good to go. I needed to make sure that I wasn't making it worse. I needed to make sure that when I approached it correctly, and I did not. And listen, I'm telling y'all, from me to y'all, I did not, not at all. And that was a problem. So, with that being said, yeah, I'm looking at something that looks like really weird to me, and I'm trying to see why. Yeah, I'm right. Okay. So, yeah, it was a big problem. It was a problem beyond me, totally beyond me. And I didn't understand what was happening, what was going on with myself, but my response to the situation was bad. All right, so let me get into what's going on here. So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this. So with that response, what she explained to me was I could have de-escalated the situation because she felt like, hey Brian, she felt like I should have answered him differently. So when he approached me and said, I've been thinking about you since this situation happened, my response should not have been what I said, which was, we'll keep thinking. You know, it should have been, oh, so what were you thinking? We can say stuff in a different manner that can change a whole atmosphere. If y'all see the difference in that tone, I mean, she said you didn't have to, even really look him directly in his face if you wanted to not. Fine. But her thing was, if you just said this differently, he could have had the opportunity, or you would have opened up the opportunity for him to apologize for what he said or did. She said, I believe that after talking to him and now talking to you, that he went to apologize to you, but he came at you the only way he knew how because he was embarrassed about what he said and did. So if he came to you in the manner, he came to you in the manner of the way he is, so he could try to open the door by, I've been thinking about you since this day, and you could have responded even though his tone didn't sound right to you. She said because you expected negativity from him, you responded negatively. Now, you being who you are and you being who you are in the kingdom should have responded a different way, which was, oh, and what were you thinking? She said, give him the opportunity to be a positive person, or give him an opportunity to be negative and deal with the negativity as it came, or give him the opportunity to be a positive person and deal with the positive response of what he was said. Because that she said, I believe that was an apology that was coming, but when you said it the way you said it, he got offended. Like she's still in her feelings, but you yelling you kingdom, and you yelling you Christian, and you yelling we gotta forgive one another, and that's what you teach, but that's not what you're doing. And I said, okay, I understand. I get it. In the process of all of that, I had to take it in as I need to keep it kingdom, because at the end of the day, I have a kingdom based business. I have children, God children that's gonna be around me, and sometimes I need to watch my tone. I just have no tolerance for disrespectful people, not just men, but disrespectful people. But I am definitely not gonna deal with a man that's abusive, and that's not, again, verbally, emotionally, whatever it is. I just won't. And so. But that doesn't mean that I need to respond in another way. I can respond in a positive way and still get better results or the same results, but still keep it kingdom and still keep myself in my place of, you're a minister of the gospel. You're a representation of the king. You are who God has sent to do this, and you need to be in line with what God is doing. Because at the end of the day, you do not want it to look bad on God that you're one of his children and cannot deal with a situation that's so minor as this. Because your attitude is, bruh, I'm from the west side. Are you crazy? Yeah. So that was my whole entire situation. And I was like, I cannot believe that that is seriously happening. Seriously happening. So, Kelly, since you're on the platform with me this morning, I want to know, what do you think about this situation? What do you think about the
Mm,
situation?
uh, ooh, child. I think because girl, all right. Let me see. How should I be answering? I guess. Um, I get it. I do. I get her point. Um, I think because I know of the situation. I understand why you reacted like you did. You know what I'm saying? But I do get. It's crazy to say. I actually get her point. Um, being if we want people to truly have a understanding of living your life in a kingdom way, that's one thing. Still living your life in a kingdom way and not allowing others to take that to use against you, so you don't have the feeling the way you normally would. I guess you could say that's something else. Okay, so at the end of the day, regardless of whatever, we're human. We gonna make mistakes. Yes, this is true. But if somebody has a mentality of I am superior over you as a uh, specific person, I mean, you can keep it kingdom, but keep it straight too. So, all right, I get it. You should hear him out. Okay, I get it. We can respond after the situation has passed. Allowing everybody to kind of cool down. Yeah, I get that too. But you still got to keep your guard up because you don't know how a person's approach could be. Like, you can't put off the fact of I'm just also forgiving, and then you slip up and you get hurt because then what?
Yeah.
So it's like I get both sides of it, but I also have the sense of you have to stay with a sense of security as well, and you can respond away, but you still gotta be on point. So you still can't be like, hey, I am so it's probably gonna sound bad, but I don't know how else to say it. I'm so kingdom with everything that you can just say and do what you want, and I shouldn't have responded the way I did. So now I feel like I have to be in a position where maybe I feel wrong by how I reacted, which was a protection mode. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get both sides, but then again, I get both sides. So that's where I'm at with it. I mean,
Yeah, but see, you know what? That's the thing that got me too with that was because I made sure not to say the end part, just to get that out. The end part of that was when he walked away, because after I said what I said to him about yes you can, was my thing was, you're not going to add me into your mess and try to make it seem like that what happened was my fault as well. No, it was you. I need you to take responsibility for you. I'm tired of this whole not taking responsibility for the things you do. Step up. You're a man, first of all. You should be the first one taking responsibility for what you do. And so I he went to walk away, and when he walked away he said no love lost, and my response was no love there.
oh,
So I listen, because and I didn't even think about it till literally just a second. God said, "But your my word says that you're supposed to love everyone. So how can you
everyone.
tell him that there's no love there?" But in my head at that moment was, I mean, you're not like a close friend of mine. You're not like family to me. You're not like in in my circle like that. So there's no love there to be lost. right in that area. Like I deal with people, and I'm like, eh, some people, I've gotten to a place where okay, I'm gonna have to tolerate this because I'm doing this. And one of the things I've always taught, see, this is where you have to be careful with what you teach and what you preach and what you do,
Mhm.
because you can't practice. You're supposed to practice what you preach. You can't just preach it and then sweep it under the rug when it comes to you. And so one of the things that I've always taught is that you don't. Um, I tell people like I can love you from a distance. That's true. That's no problem. But I don't have to harm you or be upset with. I don't have to harm you or be upset with you or say things to you that's out of the way, or be negative towards you for no reason. And to tell somebody there's no love there is and still say you Christian is one of those things that I think is a big slap in the face. And I honestly feel like that's what I was aiming for. So my honesty is that sometimes I can be cruel and not realize that I am at the moment, or intentionally be cruel because I can be. I try not to intentionally hurt people. But when I feel like you've came at me or you're hurting somebody and you need to feel this for a moment, yes, I can cut you deeply with words. Because that two-edged sword. I listen, I think that I sharpen my two edges without even knowing it.
Yeah.
When we say I stay ready so I ain't gotta get ready, I stay ready. And it's not a practice. It's just naturally I stay ready. Because I ain't gotta put my hands on you to tell you about yourself. But if I'm gonna tell you about yourself, I know how to get to you, I know how to get at you, and I know how to get you. So, and that's not something to be boasting or bragging on. That's literally just something that I need to work on for myself, because how do I teach kingdom when I got a killer tongue?
Yeah.
How do I sit here and tell God I love your people and then tell somebody there's no love there? Now, the thing with that as well is that he's a Christian person, because no matter what we do, we all still fall short, right? He's a Christian person, and I think for him that was one of those, wow, she said this, and this. And I guess his response for me when talking to my friend was, she's supposed to be Christian. We still have to forgive each other, and she won't even allow me to apologize. I feel like at some point he could have been like, I'm trying to apologize. And I probably would have been like, go ahead. But my thing too with that was, I ain't really want to hear it. I think because I've learned to
Yeah.
accept, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna actually ask that. Sorry, I didn't know I was unmuted. I was actually gonna ask that if he would have said that he was trying to apologize, would you have been listening when you still had your guard up?
I would have had my guard up and still been looking at him like, go ahead and apologize then. Because the one thing about me is apologies and forgiveness is for you, not for the person that you're forgiving. Apologies, when they say it, is for them to apologize. It's the same way it's for them and sometimes for you. But my thing is, with my life, I've learned to not need apologies, because I was never going to. There's a lot of times that people should have apologized to me. Let's be real. I should have received an apology for certain things that people did to me, set me up on, mishandled me in a lot of dangerous ways. And I mean, literally turned my life upside down. And I didn't get that, but I may never get the apology, and so I never got it growing up. So I've gotten to a place where my heart in that area, I can say that that's a space that I need to ask God to soften my heart in, because I'm hardened in that area. I don't want your apology. I'm good. That's the way I'm straight. I'm not going to die because you didn't apologize to me. I'm not going to lose my mind because you didn't apologize to me. I'm not going to, I'm going to walk around and just like side eye you. But that's my thing, is that my side eye is, I ain't trying to deal with you neither. Like it took you, here we are going on what, week 2 weeks to decide to apologize. Well, guess what? Who am I to sit here and talk about somebody else? It has been more than 2 weeks. But who am I to talk about somebody else not apologizing when it took me almost 10 years to apologize to my sister? So now my thing has been since yesterday. Compare everything that I'm thinking about with that situation to my situation. Compare everything that I'm thinking about. This was recently. I just recently in this year. I want to say it was this year. Yes, I just recently in this year called my sister, and after 10 years, apologized to her for something I said that hurt her feelings. That we stopped talking over. And even though it was the truth and my truth, it shouldn't have been said. It shouldn't have been repeated, and it should have been talked to. I should have talked to her about it before I said it to somebody else. And she overheard me saying it. But I was so stubborn on, no, I'm not going to apologize for that because it's the truth. Yeah, it was the truth, but still. And yes, she played a role in the conversation, but still. So I went back and apologized to her. So this whole situation now, I'm putting it in perspective of, am I keeping this kingdom? And that's the way I'm gonna start living my life on. Should I say that? Like I need to start checking myself because I'm quick for it. I got the truth for you. This is the way I feel, blah blah blah. But everything we feel, we don't need to say. And just because it's the truth, don't mean we gotta expose it. Certain things we need to pray about for real. We need to learn when to go into prayer. Jesus be offense, please. You know, cover my mouth. Stop me from saying certain things that will harm people because you never know what bring people are on. And being real and honest, y'all, I straight told this dude you're an alcoholic and you need help. That very first incident. And it's true. It's true. But it wasn't my place to say. But it's true. Literally, wasn't my place to say. Not to him. I probably could have said that to somebody who he was close to, like, hey, I think that you all should talk to him because I feel like he has a drinking problem and he needs some assistance. Yep. No, I straight was like, dude, you are an alcoholic and you need help. Find you some. I don't know how helpful that was supposed to be. And if he was on the verge of thinking, well, I'm not an alcoholic yet, so I can still handle my situation, I just sent them right over the edge. You gotta learn how to hold your tongue. You gotta learn how to talk. We gotta get back to the way we were, and it hasn't always been me. For a season of my life, I was able to keep myself from saying certain things, and I would just literally look at people, and when they would act up, I would take notes, mental notes. This person acts funny when they have a drink, or this person acts funny when they go to their car and come back. Whatever they do when they're in their car, they bring it back in here and they're weird. Or this person does the thing because they don't like children, and every time my son makes this noise, they look like they want to jump on him. Okay, I need to take a note of that. And I was mentally noting a lot of stuff, and I kept it in there. I was looking, I was watching, and before it could elevate or escalate, I would jump in. Like, okay, let me handle this. Let me just move my son. How about you stay your distance from the kids and the kids stay over here? Y'all, when he's around, don't go in that area, or if he over there, don't try to interact with him. I don't think he really care for children, and that's okay. We're gonna make this, different. Or this person said this, and I know that you go into your car. Okay, when you go to your car, let me stop you real quick. I don't know what you do in your car. I'm not asking you. I'm not. You ain't gotta tell me. But when you go out there, can you come back the same person that left out to go to your car? Cause do you need prayer? Do I need to help you? That was me. When you have a moment and you are, you have a drink or something, you're out because the Bible doesn't tell you not to drink. It does tell you not to get drunk. Got it. So you decided that you're going to indulge. Do what you do. I'm not knocking you, but don't drink around me and try to interact with me. If you're going to drink, decide that that's enough conversation you've had with me. Me and mine are separate because you talk to people real out the box when you drunk. And I kept my friendships like that. These are my rules to this. This is the way I'm gonna deal with this. And if I see you drinking, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm going good night and have a great day, and I'm gonna keep it going. And that's the way I lived, and it was cool. But I think the older I've gotten, the more I've been like, oh no, this is the way I feel. So you're gonna get all this right here. This is what I got. Yep, you ready to receive it? Well, no. What do I want people? Cause stop laughing at me. Cause you know how I am. I'd be like, okay, okay, okay.
I know. That's why I'm over here. I'm like, Jesus, why am I hearing her say all of this right now? But no, I get it. You, you know, I love you for
I
real.
like
I do.
so. Oh,
Cause baby, you can be a little cutthroat.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
these guys, where we just kind of sit back and be like,
Oh,
I feel bad for them. Like we want to say something to help them, but that ain't gonna help them either. Like
right.
you know,
But
I,
you know, another
whew,
thing that I did notice that I have a low tolerance for. I know people say low tolerance for fighting and arguing. I have a low tolerance for people who make excuses for what they say and do. You know, like when when they like, no, my intention was, but your intention keep causing issues.
uh, not the my intention. I feel
Yeah,
like my intention when you hear somebody say my intention is
a
like, what's the
trigger.
okay? So okay, I say a trigger, but I was gonna say it a little more so people understand the significance of that trigger.
Right. It's like
Just
for
like
me.
somebody having that wound that you just pick off real fast and it got that sting and it
It's
leave
so
a
bad.
real bad mark. That's
Hmm.
you and it.
I think because you know, my thing is if okay, I get if you did something one time and you intended to do it correctly and you mess up, fine. Did your attention hurt somebody else? What you did it cause an effect? That action caused an effect on somebody else's life that was negative? If yes, okay, then now we got, hey, you shouldn't do that because this is what happened to me when you did that, or this is what happened to them when you did that, right? But how many times you have to be told that your intention, that same intention, just in a different situation that you keep doing over and over again, is harming somebody else? But you keep yelling about my intention was not to hurt them. Well, at this point, yep, you're intending to hurt them. Because at some point you got to realize that this causes this to happen to them. So if you keep doing this is going to cause this to happen to them every single time. And how long? And if I use myself, how long do I have to keep dealing with your intentions? Are you going to keep using? I ain't intend to. My intentions wasn't to. I have a no tolerance, low tolerance for that. And so my response normally is, I don't care about your intentions. You did this to me. I'm not even looking at your intentions no more. You literally did this to me by doing something that you know that you intended to do before and it didn't happen, but this is the result of that. And now you rolled up in my life. Listen, this is the thing that caught me, and I was just trying to say that so it sounded a little funny, y'all. I wasn't gonna cuss. It literally just crossed over in my head, so my thoughts was going too fast. I have a thing that I say to people about your intentions, and all of your stuff. But my thing with this is don't as long as it don't flow into my life, then you're good. Whatever you're doing, I'm not trying to make you do nothing with that's your life. You decide what you want to do. That's on you. Go ahead, boo, do you. As long as it don't flow over here or enter in my space, which means that if you're doing something, even if we're in the same building and you decide you're gonna smoke weed in this non-smoking building and your weed smell comes into my apartment, that's a problem. I need to make a phone call or I need to knock on your door because you're smoking inside of a non-smoking building that's now causing it to come in my apartment. But what you don't understand is there's a not mental, a physical health issue over here that your smoking is causing me an issue. So it has rolled into my life. Okay? You smoking in your apartment, it ain't coming in here and it ain't bothering me and I ain't got to smell it. I don't have nothing to say because that's your business. You gonna get caught up with the maintenance or the people or the management or whatever. That's you. Okay? Same thing with, oh, if I go and I'm talking to somebody and you put okay, I'm trying to figure this out. All right, let me say this way. Okay, so we had a situation with mom, right? The situation was that I told my brother my mom was going on hospice care because she was really sick and the doctors have determined she needs to be on hospice care. I called my brother and said, hey, we need to talk. They want to put mom on hospice care. We need to talk about this for a minute. I just want to have a conversation with you about what you're thinking. And so I'm telling him what's going on. And I said, mom's not doing too good. She's decided to stop eating. My brother goes, oh my God, is she dying? I'm not sure. They want to put her on hospice care. And I go, hey, so you need to talk to me and I need you to get here because I want to make sure that we can sit and talk to mom together, right? That's what I said. My brother being my brother in all his goodness. Hmm, I had to catch myself on keeping the kingdom.
Please keep the kingdom.
Because what
Keep
I
the
wanted to
kingdom.
say was totally different. God, forgive me for the thought that popped in my head. Because I almost, yes, Brian, that was one of them moments. I almost called him a very specific name that me and my sister used to call him all the time because it was true. Again, there we go with that truth, right? It was true, but not our place. Um, him, my brother, and all his goodness. There we go. Um, he he posted on Facebook, I need prayer, my mama dying. Now I ain't talked to none of the other family members. I haven't shared any information with anybody else but my brother because I need to make sure that me and my brother have an understanding with her children. We need to make sure that we understand what's going on, how we gonna deal with this, and then I can talk to the family. Did you post that up and send everybody into a rage? So everybody's mad at me. That's not the way you handle that. I mean, he getting cussed out too, but yo intention. I just wanted prayer. No, you wanted attention. That was attention. That was attention. That was attention. That was attention, bruh. You do this. That was attention. So he did that, and then I'm getting phone calls. Brandon get phone calls. He had to leave work. They calling him like crazy. So what you did now rolled over to our lives. I have an issue with that. And I told him that you understand that what you did caused an issue in our lives. Your nephew is here angry because he getting phone calls left and right. Do you understand that? What happens? My brother goes, well, listen, I needed prayer. You needed prayer or mom needed prayer? Because your response was, I need prayer. My mom is dying. I need prayer. That's the first thing. If mom is dying, why wouldn't she need the prayer? That's my first thing. Because your intention wasn't about her. Your intention was to get attention. Yep. So that's like one of those things that I can't stand that. I'd be like, dude, your intention is causing issues in my life. Stop making your life roll into mine. Whatever you do, you better think about it first. Does it affect me in any way? And how does it affect me? Does it seriously, straight point blank affect me? Because if it does, don't do that. Talk to me first. Because you're gonna have to reap the consequences of whatever comes from me when you when you do it. So yes, I have got to learn how to keep the kingdom because I cannot control what people do though. I can't control what anybody does. I can't control what anybody says. I can only control my response and how I handle things, right? Yeah, we're gonna work on that. Y'all pray for Tennille because she need help learning to control her responses.
Oh, child.
I said, "Ooh, child."
Sorry.
Listen, but the good thing is, Kelly, one thing that you can say is I can get mad. Like, listen, I'm not gonna tell y'all I never curse because sometimes a word might fly out and I catch myself. But even when I get mad, I don't just pop off and start cussing.
Uh-uh.
It's literally the things that I say without a cuss word, and I have vocabulary. Let me tell y'all something. One of the things I say all the time: if you got to cuss every other sentence, is because your vocabulary is short. I have
Your
vocabulary.
area make you actually say, "Can you just cuss, please?"
Oh my God. I remember the one time Brandon said something. I said, dude, you reminded me of a palate defecation. I need you to. He said, excuse me? I was like, who is this smelling around here? What you talking, bro? What you talking? What you talking? And P was like, Mama, did you just. And he had to look it up. He was younger. He had to look it up. And I was like, what are you doing? Looking up defecation. Oh man.
Oh, you do my baby so wrong. Leave him alone.
Y'all, it was so right, I was it was so wrong. And he looked it up and was like, huh, mom? And I went, yes. And he goes, man, it really is that what made you think? I'm like, you are really laying it on thick, bro. Like this is piling up. And he was like, okay. And he just stopped talking.
I'm probably one or two. That's one of them. You just gotta look and be like, wow.
Yeah, yes. So keep the kingdom, y'all. Watch what you say. Make sure you don't say that to your 9-year-old. The child got to go look the word up. Because I was like, oh, wait, that's not an adult I'm talking to. That's a child. And my child was like, nope, we ain't even did that word yet. That is not one of my sight words, lady. We ain't study that. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not it. And it was so funny to me afterwards. I had to laugh. And he was just sitting there looking at me. I was like, please talk. And he just was like, I don't want to make you angry. I'm like, okay, I'm not, you're not making me angry. But I started laughing and I was like, I am so sorry. And I apologized to him. I was just hugging him. I was like, your mama say stuff that just throw you for a loop, don't he? And he said, yes, ma'am. I was like, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's bad.
I
You
was like, I'm
still
so
do.
sorry. I do stuff to him now. I mean, he grown now. He can handle it now. And now I'm teaching him how to say something. Right there, Lord, yes, ma'am. I was like, this is certain things that you just got to. I mean, even in the kingdom, when I'm keeping the kingdom and we talking about stuff, I think my facial expressions when I say stuff to people, like when somebody tell me, you know what, I didn't think I could do it, but you're doing it already. Like with B, he's a graphic designer, so bruh is just a genius at most of the stuff that he does. And so I was like, you're doing all these great things. You can combine some of your gifts together and come up with something different. And he goes, okay. So he's like, well, I don't think I'm capable of doing it. I don't think I have enough talents to do it. And I don't think my facial expression, y'all, oh, my face, I can't hide the way I feel or think on my face. So I kind of, this is funny because B described this to me, and this is how I know I do it now. So he said, I turn my head slightly to the right and I look at him and squint my eyes, and then I go, what? I'm sorry. What did you say? Well, I don't think I'm able to do it. Why do you think you're not able to do it when you're doing it now? Like, did you not just create something there? You write, so, that's nice. And you put it up and it got a bunch of likes on social media. And, the person that you did it for, it was great and they liked it. And he goes, yeah. I'm like, and don't you do music that sends people into the heavenlies when you play? Yeah. Can you put those things together and make that a situation? Because you're smart, even though you feel like you're stupid. How about you're smart? And B's like, can you fix your head? Out of all of that, that's the part that was bothering him. He was like, Mom, can you straighten your head up and open your eyes up? Like, why are you looking at me like that? And I was like, what am I looking at? He said, a whole face of disappointment. And I was like, what? So I actually looked in the mirror. I was like, oh, got it. Sorry. Didn't even realize I was doing that. I was like, I was like, it wasn't even the part of that my head was caught. My facial expression had changed too, but I think he was just like, what is this mannerism you got going on? Like, did I really just disappoint you just by saying I couldn't do something? And I'm like, because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I don't understand why you're saying that. But guess what? It's because I used to say it. I used to say it all the time. I'm not qualified for that. I'm not talented enough for this. I still do it to myself. I don't know I can't do that. But then I started looking at myself in the mirror like that. Like, would you get it together? And so for me now with him, it's like, okay, I know that I can say stuff to cut him, but now I've started thinking about it, just like, don't say that to Brent. Don't. He'll say something, and I'm like, don't say that. Or you'll hear me say it out loud, y'all. I'm quick for telling myself stuff out loud. I expose me before the enemy does. I really do. And but if I say something in my head like, oh, and it's a good comeback, but I know it's gonna break him down for at least 3 hours, I'll say it out loud. Don't you say that, T. And Brandon goes, yeah, whatever you were thinking, don't say it. I caught me. I'm working on me. I'm getting me together. And Brandon's like, yeah, now open your eyes up. Oh, I'm not squinting. Sorry. I come back.
Yeah, you don't know how much you get that squint thing. If you had that on point, like, when
Yeah,
somebody
and
see you going to squint, you be, that's everybody's thing. If you notice everybody get quiet,
and look at me, yeah, because and then if I'm hearing from God and I'm trying to talk and He's talking to me and I'm hearing, I'm like,
mm-hmm.
I get thrown off and then I start
And
squinting.
everybody get real quiet.
So I remember that day we were all talking on the phone and Shonda went, "What you hear, sis? What you hear?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
She's like, "No, what did you hear? I know that look. I know that whole. You just went, and the whole face is frowned up. You kind of look off to the side, like I'm listening to you guys because I'm really not ignoring him. I'm like, I'm trying to hear you and hear the conversation, so I'll skip a beat. But I'm like, And she go, "What you hear? What you hear? Go release it." I was like, I don't want
And
to.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Right. I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm good. She's like, you don't want to? Or God told you to say something? I'm like, hey, you stay over there and let me be over here with the Lord. Stay over there, me and the Lord having a
Who
conversation.
said, let me be over here with the Lord?
Right, the Lord is talking to me right now. This is a one-on-one. Why is you involved? Just if he tell me to say
Who
something, I'm saying
invited
it.
you to this
Right.
conversation?
This was a me and he conversation. Where did she come from? I need this to be now. Yeah.
A mess. A whole mess.
See, it's stuff like that,
But,
random things. You said what, Kelly?
but she was on point because you do have a special look. Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, Lord, can we give me another look? Because they done figured out my tail and now they bother me about it.
You got a couple of them. You got a couple. We only bother you about one.
Yeah, I don't need y'all bothering me about none of them. So I'm just like, leave me alone. I'm like, I'm in my zone. If God don't tell me to say it, I ain't gonna say it to you no way. So if you bother me, I'm just gonna be like, mind your business, please,
Yeah.
and thank you.
And I
And
think everybody better know you know that.
no, yes, and I was straight to you, mind your business. God didn't tell me to say it. It could be something I'm supposed to pray about. Leave me alone. Mind your business and stop asking me questions. Thank you very much. Exit stage now. North, south, east, west, figure it out. So, yes, but y'all,
Oh,
keep the kingdom, huh?
I love it.
Think
I
about it
love it.
first. Yes, think about it first before you respond. Think about what you're going to say first. These are those times where we need to think and being honest, even going beyond that, looking at the physical part of this, not just the spiritual part of it. These days, people are unhinged. So you can say something that you don't think is a big deal, and they'll take it completely as a problem and can take your life or theirs. Instant reaction.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, seriously, it's been so much stuff that's been happening, random conversations, arguments, anything, and then somebody just gets shot because you said something wrong to them. This whole walking around conceal and carry and having the right to bear arms in certain areas is they are angry. And it's like I'm not gonna take it. It could have been a long day of somebody mishandling somebody, and you are that last breaking point for them. So we have to be careful of what we say and how we say it. And I will be undergoing myself. So watching what I say is gonna be a thing for me. And no, I don't need help. Y'all don't listen. If I hurt your feelings, yes, say something. But for you to be like, hey, you said this just now, and I don't think that, because after a while it's gonna be like, hey, I'm wrong. Let me handle me. I gotta make sure that I'm good. And sometimes people gonna need to get God that I'm not feeling convicted about. That's just gonna be it. But keeping the kingdom first, yeah, I'm gonna handle that. a better situation. And even in this situation with the guy, because I did take away his opportunity to apologize to me, because I was expecting him to be negative because he had already been negative. But who am I to hold that against him? Because if that's the case, every time we go to God, he should be turning us away
Mm,
because I messed up once.
that's a reality check.
And that's where I am now. Is how many times we talk about how many times are we supposed to forgive other people, and God says 79 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7, right? So how many times are we complaining about, oh, I had to keep forgiving them and keep forgiving them and keep forgiving them? What would you do if that was God? Do I got to keep forgiving you, forgiving you, forgiving you, forgiving you? And most of the time for the same stuff that you just did yesterday. Half of the time for the same stuff you just did 30 minutes ago. And you keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and repenting and keep doing it, asking for forgiveness and keep doing it. As soon as you know that you've asked for forgiveness and it's in the sea of forgiveness, then you go right back to doing it again. What if God kept a record of your life that said, this is all of the things that you've done? We already have to answer to God for a lot of things we haven't repented for, and probably some things that we had. But just a conversation of, this is what happened, this is what you decided to do. He said he forgave you for it. And we always feel we can forgive but not forget. Do y'all think that's where y'all want God to handle that? I forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget. So when you get to heaven, he pull out this big giant book that's taller than your lifespan, and he just flip it through. On this day, you cussed out JoJo. On this day, you messed around and slept with this person. On this day, and unmarried. Okay. On this day, you cussed your kids out. On this day, you went off on somebody that shouldn't have it. On this day, you wouldn't help the old lady across the street because you don't like her. On this day, you drop paper on the ground because you littering. On this day, you don't know you did it, but you killed this person. Excuse me? Wait a minute, I've never killed anybody in my life. Well, yeah, you did. Let's just go back. So this person was having a hard day. And when they approached you for help, thought that you were a kind person, you cut them off, cussed them out because you were having a bad day. So you didn't answer them well. And you never saw them again, right? Because that day they killed themselves. But you could have stopped that just by being kind. This is where my life shifted to yesterday while talking to my friend. She never brought this up. This is where it shifted to, is I never know what that two-edged sword gonna say that's gonna take somebody's life. So I need to watch what I say. I need to be aware of what I put out. I need to deal with people on a level of what it needs to be dealt with. And if I have to be stern without being brutal. You can talk to people in a tone and still say things like, oh, well, you're not going to do that because you know you're not that kind of person. I was in the middle of a fist fight and still talking to the person I'm swinging at, going, man of God, man of God, get yourself together. Come on, stand up. First of all, stop trying to swing at me, but man of God, stand up. Still speaking life over him, man of God, get it together. You got this. Still speaking life over somebody that I'm beating the brakes off of because you're swinging at me and you swung at my child. But in the process, understanding that you are someone who's a friend of mine, my friend's child. I mean, grown, but you still need to get it together. And he did. So even in the worst situations, or even in situations where it seems like it's escalated and it's physical, you can still speak life over somebody, and you can still maintain who you are in the kingdom by stepping back and taking a moment. And even after that fight, y'all, I stepped back and said, "You good? You okay? Straight." Okay, now let's talk. And why? Because you could have hurt my child, so I have to defend him. And you could have hurt me, so I had to defend myself. But at the end of the day, I need to make sure your soul good. And I've slid away from that with certain people. I think I've been hurt so much to the point where it's like unnecessary hurt for no reason that I'm like, now I gotta get at you. I'm so tired of this. But they ain't doing it to you. Half of the time the people that you getting at, this they first offense against you. And you treating them like this they third strike and they going down for life. We have to learn how to speak to people and how to keep a kingdom. So y'all, as we have crossed over this hour of morning social, I want to thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for listening in. Thank you for being on YouTube. Thank y'all for laughing with us. Thank you for joking with us. But continue to pray for us all. I want to thank Kelly Webb for coming on with us this morning, and holla at Brian and Amber for jumping in and put comments in the comment section. And if you are wanting to re-listen to the entire conversation, because I know that we jumped on the radio a little late from a technical issue, but go ahead and come on over to Clubhouse, listen in over here, or wait for it to be able to be added to patreon.com. And you can go ahead and sign up for Patreon, y'all. We got some things coming forward, and we are in the works of getting things done. So that's patreon.com/F2G for your on-demand needs. That tag right there, that one right there. You see that whole link that's up there? That's it. And then that link that's above you on Clubhouse, that's it right there. Go ahead and click that. Sign up for your tier. Free tier first, children tier will be second, and then after that, everything else is more of young adult and adult tier. You never have to really worry about anything too gory, but will be talking about some things that happen and some things that might be a trigger. So we want to make sure that you understand what you're signing up for. But we will be teaching, we will be doing some trainings. We are setting up our next session. Our next session to come up on Patreon is going to be how to set the atmosphere for prayer, for worship in your private space or in a space where it's conducive for you. You're going to set it to be conducive to elevate and exalt God. But you're going into a space where you may have a retreat or you may have an event, a small event or a big one. You'll know how to handle it. So let's get going. Let's get it done. And we love you guys so much. Thank you for joining us today. It's Thursday, y'all. So guess what happens at 1 o'clock? Afternoon social. And I'm sitting here going, whoo, this is going to be deep. So afternoon social is today. And Lord, give me strength. Give me strength. Give me strength. I want to be here with y'all, so we're going to make sure we're back on at 1 o'clock p.m. Setting the alarm, see, because I don't play that. Hey, Alexa, set an alarm for 12:50 p.m. for afternoon social. Y'all notice that she ain't saying nothing but wanted to talk through the whole. Hey, Alexa, set an alarm for 12:50 p.m. for afternoon social.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Do y'all hear this?
So I just want you to know you set my alarm for.
We are out of here, y'all. I'm so tired of you, Alexa. Responding.
So I guess the alarm is set. At the wrong place.
Oh man, I can't stand this.
Just like you did for Abraham. God, I need you to show me